I still don't have the link itself.
I'll text you because he put you on, right?
On the WhatsApp.
And there should be the thing on
It's
the,
not listed.
not listen, okay. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah, so. Okay, good morning, everybody. The Gemara that we're focused on today is discussing, the Mishnah had stated that there's no more than 48 blasts of the trumpet. There's no day of the year there's more than 48 blasts. And then the Gemara questioned that. And what you say? Right. And the Gemara questioned that because the Gemara brought up another halacha. The Gemara brought up, there's an opinion of Rav Acha that says that every musaf got its own 9 blasts of the trumpet, and which was a chidush, because the day that you have a double header, 2 musaf, like on Shabbat Rosh Chodesh, is there an extra song for each of the musaf, and therefore with extra song would you get extra blast of the trumpet? So he said that every musaf got the 9 blasts. And the Gemara questioned him, if that's true, that every musaf gets the 9 blasts of the trumpet, so then let's take it, there's a day of the year that you have a triple header, triple musaf. What's the day that you have a triple musaf? Rosh Hashanah. That comes down on Shabbat. So if Rosh Hashanah comes down on Shabbat, so there's extra kabbanot because of Rosh Hashanah. There's musaf because of Rosh Hashanah. There's Eser musaf because of Rosh Chodesh. And that's a kabbanot because of Shabbat. You have 3 musaf. So if it's true that each musaf gets 9 blasts, you get 27 over there, plus 21. Every day you had a minimum of 21 blasts. So 21 and 27, you got 48. So that was, David, is that clear what the Gemara's question was? I got another day of 48. So the Gemara said that the reason why we don't list that case, because we have multiple cases that are extra. And we're not looking to list all the cases of 48. We're just comfortable to list one case that has 48, and we're not gonna list the Tana. The Tana likes to talk in short, and he's only gonna list one of the cases. But that's only if you have only one exception, you don't just list one and leave one out. If you have more than one exception, then I can accept that you don't want to say all the exceptions if you have multiple exceptions to the rule. So therefore, you have to have at least 2 exceptions, 2 more cases for us to accept that you're just only listing this case and you don't want to list 2 other cases. If there's only one other case, you should list both. So the Gemara was in search. What are the 2 other cases? So the one case that's extra was the case of Rosh Hashanah that comes down on Shabbat. That's case 1 that's extra. What's case 2? So the Gemara wanted to say that case 2 is Erev Pesach. Erev Pesach, on Erev Pesach, they would slaughter the Korban Pesach, and there was a special mitzvah. When you slaughter the Korban Pesach, Mr. Haber, they would say Hallel. They would say Hallel, the recital of Hallel during the slaughtering of the Korban Pesach. And the Jewish people came as 3 different groups. They came as 3 different groups, and it says fascinating that when one group filled up the courtyard, they locked the doors. It was filled to capacity. We're locking the doors of the courtyard, nobody else in, and we're going to be slaughtering the Korban Pesach. And when they would slaughter the Korban Pesach, during the duration of time that they would be slaughtering for all the people that came in for the first slaughtering, they would say the Hallel, and then they would still be slaughtering. They would say a Hallel a second time, and they're still slaughtering for all those people. They say Hallel a third time, and they got in 3 Hallel, and before each Hallel, they blew the trumpet. So each time,
each of those slaughterings, they did 3 Hallels, 3 the first time, 3 the second time, and only got 1 the third time.
In the third group. But in the first set, when the first group came in, the first group got 9 because he had they did Hallel 3 times. So you had a lot of people. The first people that come in is always the biggest group. You had the biggest group the first time, so it took you 3 Hallels in order to finish for all the people that were in the just all the people that came in for the first session. Second session, you also got 3 halos on the deal. A lot of people, you got 3 halos on the deal during the duration of the slaughtering of the Korban Pesach, and you got another 9 blasts. Now the question is, during the third session, the third group of Jews that came in, did you also get another 9 on the deal or not? So the Gemara first opened up with the point, we got another 9, because you have 3 groups. Each group you had 3 recitations of Hallel. You got 27. So you got 27 on Erev Pesach, plus the regular 21 every day. So you got 27, 21, you got 48. So to that, the Gemara said, maybe that's not a good suggestion as another new case of 48, because maybe perhaps the Mishnah's opinion is Rabbi Yehuda. What does Rabbi Yehuda hold? Rabbi Yehuda, he held that when the third group of Jews came in on Erev Pesach to slaughter the Korban Pesach, they never reached past the middle, early part of the Hallel, of the first Hallel of the third group. So that would mean to say the following. Group 1 got 3 Hallels, 9 blasts. Group 2 got 3 Hallels, 9 with 18. But group 3 only got the 3 blasts for Hallel number 1. Is that clear? So group 3 only got the total between all 3 groups was 21 blasts. So 21 and 21, the regular every day, is 42. So you don't have 48. You didn't give me a new case, an extra case that they left a second extra 48. That's what the Gemara wants to say. Maybe our Mishnah goes like Rabbi Yehuda. So it goes like Rabbi Yehuda, so you don't have 48. So the Gemara shoots back, that's where we ended off yesterday. What do you mean? Well, there's a girsa on the side. We said yesterday, in the race that the early part of the Mishnah does not go like Rabbi Yehuda, because we said, how do you count the blast of the trumpet? Do you they were done in a sequence of Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah, right? They opened the gates, Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah. They went whatever they blew by the Korban Olah, Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah. And then they there was 3 times during the Song of the Levium. The Song of the Levium was broken into 3 sections. But do you count Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah as one blast, or do you count it as 3 separate? The Mishnah counted each one separate, like each one's like a separate mitzvah. And that's not like Rabbi Yehuda, because Rabbi Yehuda counted them all like one. Each 3 as one. 7, exactly. Rabbi Yehuda says only 7. He would only count 7 blasts for every day. Being that's the case, so you already established that the Mishnah doesn't agree like Rabbi Yehuda. If it doesn't agree like Rabbi Yehuda, you can't say our Mishnah holds like Rabbi Yehuda. You told me it doesn't agree like Rabbi Yehuda. So if it doesn't agree like Rabbi Yehuda regarding it's not Rabbi Yehuda because of that law. So therefore the Gemara is saying it's not Rabbi Yehuda regarding the law of Erev Pesach. And therefore we don't agree with Rabbi Yehuda regarding Erev Pesach. Therefore we'll go like the Chachamim that say they actually got in 27 blasts on Erev Pesach. Because they hold there were 3 groups. Each group recited the Hallel 3 times. So each group got 9, 18, 27. So we got 48. We found that tune. We found that customer. We have another example of the second exception to the rule. In addition to Rosh Hashanah that comes out of Shabbat, we also have another example, Erev Pesach. The Erev Pesach only got 48. So the Gemara shoots back. How do you know that the Mishnah disagrees with Rabbi Yehuda in both points? Maybe our Mishnah disagrees with Rabbi Yehuda regarding, do you count them all as one mitzvah, the 3 blasts as one mitzvah, a separate mitzvah? Maybe we don't agree with Rabbi Yehuda regarding that. But maybe what he held by Erev Pesach, maybe we would agree, maybe the Mishnah would agree with his opinion of Erev Pesach, and therefore Erev Pesach you would only get 21, therefore you don't have another case of 48. That's the Gemara, that's where the Gemara is shooting back today. So we're on the art scroll, it's 54. B1, the Gemara says in about the 3rd paragraph from the top, the Dilma, Haitana, excuse me, maybe the Tana of our Mishnah agrees with Rabbi Yehuda. He agrees with Rabbi Yehuda regarding one halacha, excuse me, and he argues with him regarding the other halacha. And therefore, maybe he would agree that with his opinion regarding Erev Pesach. the Erev Pesach, you only got in 21. And if you only got in 21 Erev Pesach, so 21 and 21 is 42. You did not show me another exception where you got 48 on the deal. Clear, David? So the Gemara shoots back. Ella, my shaya, dai shaya. What's the case? What's this? My shaya, dai shaya. What did you leave over besides the one that you left over? The Gemara is going to say what Nathan said yesterday. Nathan's case. What was Nathan's case? Erev Pesach, shachal liot be'erev Shabbat. Erev Pesach, that comes out on Friday. What about that? Because now you got an extra, right? Because we said every Friday, Mr. Haber, we got an extra 6 blasts. They blew 6 every Friday. Why? Why? Because we said you want to get the workers, the people in the stores to stop working. Just take today in Williamsburg, on the Lower East Side, you hear the alarm. They blow an alarm in Williamsburg, you hear on the Lower East Side to tell you that Shabbat is coming. Time to light the candles. What? Jerusalem too. Okay. And they did that. This is the old custom. And where did they get that alarm from? Where did they learn it from? Back in our Mishnah, from the time all thousands of years ago, they blew. They wanted to tell the people it's time. The people in this, they didn't have the clocks that we have today. Everybody didn't walk around with a watch like we walk around today with a watch. So how do you notify everybody about the time? You're running late, and your person goes ahead and he does malacha chas v'shalom after sunset. Have a great day. It's a big sin. So therefore, what do? That it would blow one sound for the people in the fields. Time to stop. One sound for the people in the stores to stop. One sound for the people working in the kitchen. All that what you're doing with the fires, everything. You gotta, time to finish up your food. And then they would blow 3 more sounds to separate between Shabbat and weekday. That was the 6th Erev. And now, even if the Mishnah holds like Rabbi Yehuda, that you only get 21 on Erev Pesach, but if Erev Pesach comes out on Friday, you got 21 for the slaughtering of the Korban Pesach with the Hallel, with the blowing of the trumpets by Hallel. Another 6 for Erev Shabbat makes it 27. Plus, every day you got 21 on the deal. You got 48. So we found 2 exceptions to the rule. And therefore, the Tana did not want to stiff. Well, that's why the Tana left out those 2 cases. Okay. You have 3 total cases. If you have 48 blasts. You have 48 blasts. Now, the Gemara asks, here comes the Gemara. The Mishnah stated that we don't add on to 48. There's no case that there's more than 48 blasts of the trumpet. So the Gemara says, what below? There is no 48, more than 48. Vayika Erev Pesach shechal liot b'Shabbat. Erev Pesach that comes out on Shabbat. You should have more than 48. Why? Because remember, Erev Pesach, we got all these extra blows in honor of the Korban Pesach. Rabbi Yehuda says you get an extra 21 blows. And the Chachamim say you get an extra 27 blows, right? That's the difference of opinion. So now let's do the math. Erev Pesach comes out on Shabbat. Now, because of Shabbat has Musaf, right? Let's do the math. So every Shabbat starts, you're already at 30, because Shabbat starts with 21 like every day. Plus you get an extra 9 because there's a Musaf on Shabbat, right? On a Tuesday, you get 29 blows. Shabbat, you have a Musaf. Now remember, why do you get 21 every day? Let's remind everybody. Every day, you have the Korban Olah in the morning, the Tamid in the morning, you have the Korban Olah in the what? Afternoon. The Korban Olah there's a song, the Beteshes are singing, the Lobes Nathan is singing, they're singing the Korban Olah. And you're singing, and because you're singing as a result of that, and that song that you're going to sing is going to be broken up into 3 parts, and at the different intervals, they're going to be blowing the trumpets, and therefore you get 9 in the morning for your song, you get 9 in the afternoons for your song, so you get 18, and every day there's enough 3 blows opening the gates. Another three, that's time for David to get to his place and the Levim, everyone to get to their place. So every day you got 21. So remember, because of the Korban Olah, you got a 21. And it's definitely the special Korban Olah, that was the additional Korban that was born on Shabbat, the additional Korbanot, you got another 9 blasts. So you got 30. So now on Shabbat, you start with 30. Shabbat, every Shabbat begins with 30. But Shabbat of Erev Pesach, now if Shabbat is the Erev Pesach, so Shabbat afternoon, they're going to be slaughtering the Korban Pesach. Because the slaughtering of the Korban Pesach overpowers the Shabbat. So in the afternoon, when do they slaughter? They have the afternoon from midday to start slaughtering the Korban. They're going to be singing. Then they're going to have the Hallel, and you have extra. So according to Yehuda, you got 21 blows on Erev Pesach. That's 51. And according to the Chachamim, you get 27 blows on Erev Pesach. So you got 57. So what are you telling? What if the Mishnah saying you don't have a day of the year that you have more than 48? Erev Pesach that comes on a Shabbat, you either got 51 or you got 57. So how can you tell me you have no more than 48? David, you like the question? That's the question of the Gemara. So the Gemara says, Erev Pesach shechal liyot below. There's no more than 48. Erev Pesach. Yeah, but the Gemara said every time there was a minimum of 2 groups finishing all, and the third group. So the Gemara never. It's the idea of the people. How many people are coming in? You got to sort the same amount of people as whether it comes down to Shabbat or not. Therefore, the logic would say that they. But they would have, but they have the mitzvah. The same mitzvah of Ola Regel applies, so they have to make their arrangements before Shabbat. They got to check in exactly. So the Gemara says again, the Rabbi Yehuda according to Rabbi Yehuda, Chamshin l'chada, you have 51. Vila Rabbanan, you have Chamshin l'sheva, you have 57. But the Gemara says something in a very nice, interesting answer. The Gemara says. The Mishnah wants to tell us a case that applies every year. I'm going to tell you a case. It's true. You might have a case that has more than 48 blows, but this case of more than 48 is not something that happens every year. But the case that I want to tell you of Sukkot, Chalamoid Sukkot, that comes out on Erev Shabbat, the Gemara is going to say, and the Gemara is going to challenge it, and the Gemara is going to defend it. Every year you will have a Chalamoid Sukkot come out on Erev. There'll be a Friday that's Chalamoid Sukkot, and because it'll be a Friday that's Chalamoid Sukkot, so the case of 48 that I'm stating in our Mishnah is something that's constant every year. But I'd rather say that case than say a case that's something that's unusual type of case that Erev Pesach comes down on Shabbat. I'd rather not say that case. That's what the Gemara says. Midi di'ite b'choshana. I'd rather give a case that happens every year, and Erev Pesach shechal b'Shabbat, Erev Pesach that comes down on Shabbat. The letam b'choshana v'shana, which is not every year. Look, Tani, I don't want to say that case. So the Gemara shoots back. You're telling me, yeah, it's true. Erev Pesach does not come out on Shabbat every year. Sometimes Erev Pesach is not on the Shabbat, not on a Saturday. Erev Pesach come out on a Monday, a Sunday, Tuesday. But there's every year is there a Chalamoid Sukkot on a Erev Shabbat? What happens? The Gemara says, "Otu erev Shabbat shebetoch hashana, shebetoch hachag." Is there erev Shabbat that's in the Chag mi'itei b'chol shana? Is it every year? Because zimnin de lo mishkachat. But sometimes we're going to have a situation that you're not going to have you're not going to have the 12 blows of the shofar. We said for for the water, for the drawing of the water, we said you get, and it's 12 blows of the trumpet, right? You're going to, when they were getting ready to go. So let's see if this is the case that you're going to say. Hey, Chidami, let's see. Okay. If let's say, if the first day of Yom Tov comes out on a Friday. So if the first day of Yom Tov comes out on a Friday, so we say, okay, but the Gemara, okay, that happens. So the Gemara is focusing on this case. If the first day of Yom Tov comes out on a Friday, so now on Yom Tov, so the Simchat Beit HaShoeva does not, we're not going to go ahead and play that music on the Yom Tov, and we're not going to be blowing those extra 12 blows of the trumpet. So in that if the first day of Yom Tov, let's say Sukkot, let's say if the first day of Sukkot comes out on a Friday, right? So if the first day of Sukkot comes out on a Friday, so on that day, so if let's say if today was Friday and today was Sukkot, and the first day of Sukkot, so this morning we would not have gone to draw the water with we would not have gone to draw the water with the music. We would not get the blows of the. We could draw the water, but we can't blow the trumpets. We don't get to blow the sounds of the music in honor on the Yom Tov. So then we only have 36. So you're telling me that every year on Friday of Sukkot, you had 48. You told me the case of 48, because Sukkot, you told me on Friday, what was the case? Sukkot, you got the 12. Right. This is Yom Tov. Right. So you don't have, so here we have a Friday, during the holiday of Sukkot, did not get 48. It only got 36. Because it's missing the 12. It's missing the 12 from the drawing of the water, because they're not going to blow the trumpets in honor of the drawing of the water on Yom Tov. They didn't allow, because remember, the blowing of the trumpets for the Simchat Beit HaShoeva is not the same of blowing the trumpet. There's no biblical mitzvah to blow the trumpets in honor of the water drawing. Friday. And Friday, you got an extra 6 on the deal because of Friday. But every day, let's say in general, when they would draw the water, they would, in honor of the drawing of the water, when they're about to go down, leaving to bring it, or entering the gate when they're bringing the water through, they would be blowing the trumpet. They would not do it on Shabbat, and they would not do it because Shabbat they could not go bring the water from outside, from public to private. And even on Yom Tov, they could go out, but they wouldn't blow. They didn't have the right to blow. So you don't have 48 every year, but on a Friday of Sukkot. If the Friday comes out, if it came out of Chol Moed, then you could blow. But if the Friday came out, the Friday of Sukkot, the 7 days of Sukkot, if the Friday came out on Yom Tov, you will not, if the first day of Yom Tov of the holiday is not a Friday, you don't have it. So to be continued tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for joining.